Hello there, it's Flo. Continuing where I left off on the Deschutes River hike. Or, well, I finished the hike a few weeks ago, but I am working on the photos from the hike. Really liked how that last one turned out. I did a little bit of editing off stream. There was a lens flare here. You can still kind of see, if you look closely, there's a shape right here. And I could, you know, go a little bit further to try to reduce that, but it's not super noticeable. I might do that more on other photos if I feel like it, but it's kind of a pain. Kind of annoying, just like that song. I need to figure out a better position for my mouse. It's kind of hurting my wrist these days. I've never used like mouse wrist pad type things, but yeah, I don't have a good position. I used to use a graphics tablet and I still have one, but I don't know. I actually kind of want to buy a on-screen one. They used to be outrageously expensive because Wacom was the only company that made them, but now there's quite a few competitors and you can get a pretty good one for around a little over $200, which right now is way more than I can afford. I can't buy it now, but maybe after I move and get a job, that'll be on my list. Just realizing, like, when I was trying to paint over that lens flare with a mouse, like, I just couldn't get the shape accurately, but if I could draw right on the screen, I would have much more stability, and if the screen was good enough, I would use that screen to look at while I'm editing and stuff, and I think it would be pretty cool. I've always wanted one of those, but I've never felt justified in it before. Just because I don't do any professional art or photography or anything, it's just kind of for a hobby, so I always feel bad spending a lot of money on a hobby that doesn't feel like it pays out the other end or whatever. But yeah, anyway, someday maybe. I mean, someday maybe I'll get the graphics tablet, we'll see. That lens flare up there's a little bit much, so I think I'll just get rid of it. It's that kind of situation where a graphics tablet would come in handy. It's just really hard to maintain an angle that's not either in line with the sweeping arc of your wrist from your elbow or straight up and down. There's just kind of certain angles that are hard to keep right. So you get these like bumpy edges. You're trying to paint a straight line. It's just kind of hard to explain, but if you've ever tried drawing or painting with a mouse, it's almost like you need to turn your desk or the canvas in the program a certain angle, and then you can do it better. And then if you need to like go crazy, like say you need to like outline the shape of something really specific, like something like that. Wow, that didn't come from a good source. Anyway, it's just difficult. Surprised it's choosing those cloning positions. There's not really enough area to heal clone from. There's still a little bit of a highlight over there, but I think that'll be okay. I just didn't want that really harsh sun ray and blob. It's a big kind of lens flare down here in the bottom center, but I think rather than trying to remove that manually, because it's such a complex shape with a bunch of rainbows in it, I'll just clone or mask. I'll try to mask it out in the panorama stitching process. It'll just be, it's just kind of like go with the easiest method really most of the time. Don't waste a bunch of time. That last stream I was definitely wasting time technically in this sense that I could have done it an easier way, but or actually I was basically just doing stuff that didn't need to be done, like worrying about the grain on the wood and all that on that log, trying to connect all the black lines and things. I didn't need to do all that, but it was important to me in that situation because I was trying to learn. I use Krita software, so it felt worthwhile, but normally I wouldn't bother with such details. Not sure why these two images were so dark. I guess it's because the sun is in the frame. This answered my own question. That's pretty much the reason, but it's weird how big of a difference there is. Subject matter didn't change that drastically. Might end up having to end my stream suddenly. Supposed to be, or somebody might be dropping by, but keep getting that situation where I'm waiting for somebody to drop by, but they just don't contact me, so might not happen. But if it does, I'll probably leave all of a sudden. Oh, hey, Sample Dragon, sorry. Didn't see your sneaky peeking eyes right away. Peeking through the darkness. Well, if you have dark mode on Odyssey like I do, they're peeking through the darkness. Otherwise, they actually might blend in even more if they were on light mode. I don't know. How are you doing today? Night mode, yeah. I can't stand light or day mode, whatever, on anything anymore. It's like most programs have realized the value of that. I'm surprised they didn't figure that out before, like years ago. To me, it's crazy that like Windows or any operating system would choose like mostly white. Oh, I forgot the guy didn't. Yeah, I didn't get the lens flare on that one, so I'll fix that real quick. Very tired, how are you? I'm okay. Doing alright. I slept in, so I'm not super tired. I did stay up really late last night. I couldn't sleep as usual, but doing all right today. Took me a bit to get used to dark mode. Yeah, I love it. Like, the worst thing is, to me, is like a program that doesn't have it. Like Hugin, for example. It's like the brightest program ever. It like blinds me every time I open it. Especially like late at night. Look at that. It's like, oh no. But I'm pretty sure they don't have a mode for that. Otherwise I would switch to it immediately. It's like the only program I have that doesn't have a dark mode. It's so bright. Now light mode is jarring. Yeah, no, totally. Once you start using dark mode, you just can't go back. I mean, technically they've always had, or at least for many years, they've had like themes, colors in Windows, which I could use like a dark or high contrast mode, but I don't know. I've had problems with that where like icons or different tools don't show up right, so I don't really like to use that. Even with brightness turned all the way, light mode is too much, yeah. Yeah, I can't stand light mode anymore. One place that light modes, or just kind of lighter themes, still seems to be fairly prevalent is web design. Like, I feel like dark mode hasn't fully taken over like websites yet, although a lot of or not a lot, but some websites have like a light mode, dark mode switch, which is really nice. All the way down, yeah, okay. Just trying to figure that one out. I figured you probably meant that, but yeah, and you don't want to turn your brightness down on your monitor or your screen or whatever. It's especially if you're doing artwork, because it affects colors that you see on the screen, and then you're adjusting for a scenario that isn't good. I have a really hard time with that in general because I don't have my monitors calibrated, so what looks good on one monitor, you pull it to another monitor, it's like too dark or too bright. It's kind of a pain. But the way I figure it though, it's like the vast majority of people out there don't have their monitors calibrated either, so even if you get them all calibrated and everything, you're just making it so it looks good on your end. You're not necessarily going to make it look good for everybody else. So, I don't know. It's kind of a problem that needs to be solved worldwide. All the manufacturers need to come together and have some kind of standard for what color is supposed to look like on screen, and stick with that standard across the board. That would be nice, but probably won't ever happen. It's insane seeing the super saturated colors on my phone versus the correct colors on my PC. Yeah, I know. Actually, my phone, my current phone anyway, it looks really nice on my phone, like sometimes better than my screen, but yeah, it is annoying not to know. Like, I have 3 monitors technically in my room. Well, not right at the moment, but normally I have like 2 actual monitors, like normal size, like 24-inch or whatever, and then I have a TV that I use as a monitor. And if I drag like any program like CaptureOne or Affinity Photo or any program from one monitor to the other, the colors change completely on the photo I'm working on. So I just kind of just shake my head and just pick one of them and adjust it on that one, and it's fine. I don't really care enough to try to calibrate him. Sometimes it ruins my art depending on which screen I'm looking at. Yeah, it's annoying. Like if I was a real true photographer, a pro or something, I'd probably buy a calibration tool and get that all fixed, but it's not important enough for me. And if somebody doesn't like my editing on my stream, I can just say, well, it looks good on my screen. Sorry, I don't have it set up to match yours. That can be my excuse, but no, I don't claim to actually really totally know what I'm doing. I just kind of do what I think looks good. I've never been trained or anything. I just taught myself, so I'm sure I'm breaking all sorts of photography rules or whatever, but who cares? Say that too. People tell me when I color things dark gray, it looks black. Oh yeah. Yeah, it totally depends on your monitor. Or if they're looking on a phone, like, yeah, they could totally have their brightness down or up or whatever. Who knows? I just don't even care. Yeah, I mean, as long as it looks good on my screen, I'm fine with it. Like my screen's the only one I have to look at, so don't even care that much. It is something I'm aware of, though. It's something if I had the infinite money and resources, I could buy all the equipment to get that fixed, but I don't, so I just do it, live with it. I have really cheap monitors too. Like I'm not a Apple person, or I don't have a Mac or anything, the fancy 5K HDR screens and all that kind of stuff. It's just pretty cheap, like $100 monitors. I can't afford any better, so even if I got these ones calibrated, they probably wouldn't look as good as some other good monitor. That's weird. Why is it telling me that? Oh, it's like I deleted those photos, which is, I don't think I did. Oh, weird. That's bizarre. I don't know what I did. I don't know what's happening here. Buying expensive gear is definitely no. Yeah. Still consider myself traditional artist, so I don't care about anything I'm doing digitally. Oh, really? It's funny because like on your stream and stuff, you're doing a lot of digital stuff, so I would expect you to have more. Yeah. So do you like paint and draw and stuff too, or? Yeah, I've spent way too much money on the streaming hobby. I got really into it like 3 years ago, and I had money at the time. So it's kind of like, don't go shopping when you're hungry. It's kind of like, don't start streaming when you have money. Because I spent way too much. I have all these lights and, microphone and whatever. I don't have like crazy expensive stuff. I bought, budget stuff, but still it just adds up. It's really hard to stream with just one monitor, especially if you want to be able to read chat and do stuff in OBS while you're streaming without showing that stuff on screen. Yeah. I pretty much never use 3 monitors though when I'm streaming. I only use 2. It's more that, the reason my setup is kind of complicated, or I have a lot of stuff, is I have several different types of content I do, and I didn't want to have to like move my cameras all over the place, and my lights and green screen and everything, and they're like different positions. So I have a craft table where I do bookbinding and microscope stuff and other things, and it has some lights there and a camera. And then I used to do piano streams, so I had a separate setup for where my piano was. And so yeah, it's such a pain to like move everything around every time that I just bought a couple duplicate things, like a couple green screens. I didn't like buy expensive green screens. They're literally just like fabric from a fabric store that's green. But yeah, I just have it like almost 2 setups. So everything I posted is just my old drawings. All my old drawings were papers, cardstock, colored pencils, jelly roll, ballpoint ink, and gel pens. I'm currently tracing everything digitally, so everybody thinks I'm a digital artist, but I very rarely actually draw anything new. Huh. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I like traditional stuff. I just, I'm not very good at it, except, I mean, like, I read your description like a couple days ago, and it said like you just doodle. That's kind of how I describe my artwork. I don't take it very seriously. I just like I haven't been officially trained as an artist, but I always used to doodle when I was a kid, so that's about my level. But I feel like you probably have more experience, because at least from the looks of your like slideshow, you've done many drawings, and I don't pump out a lot of artwork. I pretty much never draw anymore. I used to draw occasionally, but these days I almost never do. Okay, so I need to get rid of all of these. My equivalent, or my version of artwork these days, is just, you know, just live streaming, I guess, is an art form. And so I like to play around with OBS filters and all that kind of stuff, and then photography and bookbinding, but it's not like I'm actually drawing something from scratch. I don't do that very much anymore. Seems like fun. I can see why you got heavily into live stream. Green screen seems like it'd be fun to implement too. Yeah, and if you want to do it well, you have to like, it's like complicated. You have to buy like specific lights and put them in a certain angle. And if you don't want the lights on you, but you want to have your green screen lit evenly behind you, you have to get separate lights for on your face versus lights on your green screen, and getting the filters in OBS to mask it out right is kind of challenging. And yeah, a little bit of I find it kind of fun to play around with that stuff. And I tend to like destroy my processor. I mean, I have a decent computer that I bought like 3 years ago, but to like have these screens with all this crazy color cycling effects, like it's kind of killing my processor. And I have a hunch that like these kind of screens might actually be part of the reason that Affinity Photo crashes so much. I'm not sure, but anyway, it's totally unnecessary, but I'm just kind of picky about having fun little things like that. I used to have like a border on this screen as well, where I'm working, that had the colors and stuff, but I don't know, took that off. OBS is super fun to play with. Yeah, I know. It's crazy what you can do with that software. Super powerful. And they just keep adding more and more things. My favorite thing that they added in one of the recent updates is blend modes. So you can have, kind of like in Photoshop or most programs these days, you can have normal, multiply, darken, lighten, screen, difference, exclusion, you know, like all those kind of things. You can do that well, there's only like 3 modes in OBS, but you can like have a layer screened on top of another or multiplied on top of another. And I like using that for my kind of shiny color effects and stuff. It's one of the things I was hoping they would eventually add, and they did, so that was exciting. Okay. Let's see if those are any better. My laptop would self-destruct with all those effects. I'm surprised it can handle all the GIFs I load, but I noticed loading VLC slows it almost to a crawl. Yeah. I don't know why, but like animated GIFs, like if you just add an animated GIF or GIF, I don't know. I never know what, try to please everybody with either one. I usually say GIF, but I think a lot of people say GIF anyway. It looks more like GIF. You know, it's not a J, it's a G, but anyway, who knows? For some reason, if you add one of those as a photo layer within OBS, like just 2 or 3 of them, or if you filled your screen, it would just crash OBS. I don't know why. OBS seems to not like those. At least on my computer. But yeah, I probably had a similar laptop to you before I got this desktop that's relatively new. I actually built it with all the components. So it's kind of fun. But yeah, my old laptop is so slow. It takes like 10 minutes just to boot up, and I can't stream on that at all. You want to build a PC? Yeah. Is it hard or expensive? Kind of. Like, it's not technically hard, but like if you don't know anything, it would be like totally intimidating. I just did a ton of research. Like I watched a bunch of videos, and at the time, like the Ryzen PCs were like the latest greatest thing. So there's like AMD and Intel are the 2 main companies that make processors for Windows-based PCs. And so yeah, I just did a bunch of research, like what's the best budget processor and video card and motherboard and all that stuff. I didn't know anything because I hadn't built a PC since I was in high school, and back then everything was completely different. So yeah, if you're willing to invest the time to research, it's good. Otherwise, like, you're just going to make a bunch of mistakes, and you may as well have somebody else do it or just buy a pre-built one. And yeah, it was kind of expensive. But like I said, I had some extra money at the time, so it was worth it to me. But I wouldn't be able to do the same thing again. Like right now, if my PC died, I wouldn't be able to replace it for quite a while. I want to build one of those small portable suitcase PCs and use Linux, but I feel like I'll probably hate the end result. Yeah, I had one of those years ago, and I was happy with it for a while, but it just depends on what you want to do with it, I guess. Those smaller builds tend to not have as good of a video card. And actually, like, in some ways, a video card is just as or more important than your processor, because that's what really does the heavy lifting for like streaming and gaming and all that kind of stuff. I'm not much of a gamer, so I didn't need to get the latest greatest thing for that. But yeah, if you are, that's pre-built ones are like 2,000. Yeah, I mean, it depends on like what level you're going for. I don't know. I haven't shopped in like I said, it was like 3 years ago that I built that one. I don't know what it's like now, but video cards they have been crazy expensive because of the crypto mining stuff, and I don't know if that's changed at all. But yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, one of the best things you can do to breathe new life into a slightly sluggish PC is to either get a new video card or add memory to it, like RAM. And it's not going to do miracles, but it really can make a big difference. Thought it was impossible to upgrade a laptop. Kind of. I mean, it depends on your laptop, but like, yeah, some of them are built like with little screw panels on the bottom, and you can just like unscrew a couple things and pull, almost like, you know, the things that you have for batteries on the bottom of a mouse or a keyboard. They have little things like that, little slots you can open, and you can swap out memory and a few other things. Like you can put different hard drives, bigger hard drives in them. Things like that. It just depends on which manufacturer it is. But yeah, it's definitely not as easy, and you can't do as much to bring life into an old laptop. It's more of a desktop kind of concept, but I wouldn't say it's not possible. It just depends on which one you have. And I don't know, like if you said the name of a laptop, I would have no idea. I'd have to look it up like anybody else. Let's see. But yeah, you could like do a search for your brand and model of laptop and see, you know, like upgrade memory or something. And see if what it says. Okay, I have to answer a text. I'll be right back, just a second. Reminds me I need to make a BRB screen. Yeah, it's not totally necessary. Just depends on, I mean, you could, especially for you when you don't have a camera or a microphone, you could just like leave your art program open or whatever. But yeah, you could also just like literally make a text layer on top of your current screen that says "be right back" and just show and hide that source or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of went all out on mine just because it's something fun to do. Totally not necessary though. I used to spend a lot more time on them, but I was like, it was annoying because I would have to spend like 2 hours before every stream. Well, not every time, but sometimes it would take me like 2 hours to make a really cool intro and BRB screen for every stream, because I always wanted them to match whatever activity I was doing at the time. And then I'm like, nah, I can't do this anymore. It kept me from actually streaming I didn't have time to stream after I did all that stuff, so... But yeah. So I kind of made it so all I have to do is pop in an image. All those effects are like live effects that affect the image that I put in there, so I don't have to make all those weird color effects on there. It just does it automatically. So it doesn't take very long to set up anymore. I usually just comment BRB. Yeah, I mean, that's all you really need to do. Just type in chat or something. Yeah, I don't take my streaming that seriously. I do have the intro BRB and thanks for watching screens. I used to do more. I used to have like alerts and like chat overlays and stuff, but I kind of like not worrying about that these days, honestly. So while I am interested to know how to do that on Odyssey, like what tool most people use, I don't know if I'll actually do it. The other thing that I don't like about having a chat overlay is if some troll comes in during your stream and types a bunch of useless junk, then it shows on your stream. So I kind of like, for that reason alone anyway, not having a chat overlay. But the thing I don't like about not having it is if somebody's watching your replay, they can't see what the people in chat are typing. They just see or they hear the streamer talking. So it's kind of hard to follow conversations. Chat overlays, Odyssey can do that. Well, yeah, technically all I'd have to do to have a chat overlay would be to pop out chat like this and bring it over here like that. So there's like the poor man's chat overlay, and I could do things to like crop off the borders and stuff. But like technically, there's usually like tools that that you can use that are made specifically to work with OBS. And so that's kind of what I was looking for, to see what people use for that, but I don't know what they use. But yeah, I don't know if I want to do it or not, because like I said, sometimes you get, you get trolls coming in your chat, and then it's like permanently part of your replay stream, whatever they wanted to say, and it's like, I don't know, mixed feelings about it. Oh, I can't wait to move though. So how long till you're planning your move? You said you're moving to a small town. Is that coming up pretty soon? Mine's hopefully like within a couple weeks. Not sure exactly. I don't have a date on the calendar, but something like that. Makes sense. A couple people still pop in my streams and leave dumb comments. Yeah, so far you're the only one that goes in my streams. I think I've had a total of like one actual person that said hi during a live stream besides you, and then a couple other people that dropped comments after I was offline or whatever. But people think I'm a furry since I dry animals, so yeah, I could definitely see how they could come to that conclusion. My mystery that you don't have to answer, but I'm trying to figure out if you're a guy or a girl, which isn't super obvious since you don't have a camera or a microphone, but if you want that to be secret, don't worry, I won't ask you straight out. Some people like to keep that anonymous, and I don't have a problem with that. Okay, let's see. I'm ready to use Hugin now. I won't be able to move probably for a year or two. Unfortunately, technically I can leave now, but I'm allergic to loans and debt. I want to save for my building materials before I go. Oh, cool. So are you planning to like buy a piece of property and like build a house or a cabin or something like that? That's actually what I hope to do long term as well. But I also I don't know if I'll ever have the money for that, but that's my kind of dream. Unfortunately, the property values in the area where I'm going are kind of highly inflated. You know, even though it's a small town, it just seems to be popular or something. And so I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford to buy a house. But my parents have a property there, so I'm going to be living in their place for a while and just see what happens. See if I can save some money up and get my own property, but I have no idea if it'll work out. It's kind of a very unknown thing, sort of an adventure, and just kind of pray that things work out. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. Not really interested in being forced to get home insurance just to get construction done. I have 3 acres outside of city limits and I can build whatever I want. They don't even have building permits. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, I hate that stuff. I feel like they have no business in telling people how to build stuff on their property. But I mean, I understand for safety and insurance and even safety of neighbors and all that kind of stuff, but it's just annoying how expensive it is to get permits and how limiting it can be sometimes depending on the area. Super annoying. Okay, so I'm going to try to get rid of these little lens flares by masking them out. Yeah, I kind of want to just build something that's just, I mean, I want to do research and build something that's safe and well constructed, but I don't want to build just like a normal house. Like I'd like to build something that it's kind of like either a log cabin or just something that feels kind of adventurous and outdoorsy, I guess. I don't know. Actually, I don't think I can mask this one out because there's nothing to cover it from the other ones. Well, maybe there is. I don't know, we'll see. See how it goes. I'm studying geodesic, I don't even know how to say that, geodesic dome homes and earth bags. Hopefully we'll build a wind turbines, use solar and do permaculture, hydroponics, aquaponics, and have my camels. That's cool. Do you know if your area is strict? I don't know. I haven't done the research yet. And I also don't know if I will end up staying there long term or not. It's kind of an experiment. Staying at my parents' place and just doing some research and saving up money. And if I find that it's too expensive, like I'll probably like look at properties that are outside the city or the town limits and see if it's any cheaper. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not very good at planning all that kind of stuff. I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants, so I don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, I do know that like in the county where I'm moving to, I saw like somebody on Craigslist that had built a house out of tires. So some kind of earth type house, and they said that's totally permissible. So I'm guessing there's some creative options possible, but I don't think I would do anything crazy like that. Not that that's crazy, but that's pretty, you know, alternative. I would think probably more like a, either a kit cabin that I order online or something cheap, or I don't know. I'm not like a construction guru, so I don't think I would do anything too fancy. If it's expensive now, hopefully it'll keep appreciating so you can sell higher and buy even more next time. Yeah, that's true, but if it's already more than I can afford, then that's the problem. But I think there is some land that's still within reach. But anything that has like a structure on it already or a house is like really expensive already, so don't know. We'll see. I'm willing to move into a different state if I have to, or just go wherever I need to, but I really like being close to, you know, my friends and family from all these years and whatever, but yeah, we'll see. My parents may end up going wherever I go, and then we'd be together. At least I'd have that, but we'll see. But yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, the whole economy could collapse too. It could be a massive housing thing, whatever, crash like there was in 2008. A lot of people are speculating that something like that might happen, but who knows? Kits are great. You don't need too much experience with those. I like earth bags because it's literally just dirt. Should be able to build a house just by digging. Means I don't have to deal with delivery or hauling materials long distance. Yeah, I kind of wondered about those kind of situations. Like, what do you, like, are there like things living in the walls, like worms and ants and pests digging through, or like how does that work? And it seems like it would feel dirty unless you like either put, you know, normal inside wall type drywall or something to separate you from the mud or clay or whatever. I don't know anything about it. I've never done research, but I just always think, wow, it seems like, do you have a dirt floor or do you have dirt walls? Like, how does that work? I'm not like a big fan of like massive insects and rodents in my house, so I would want to make sure it was somehow guarded against that kind of stuff. Otherwise, you know, I could be totally happy in those kind of scenarios. Because I'm not like an appearance guy. I don't care about how things look fancy or whatever. Actually kind of messy really most of the time. Worried about where the economy's going, but owning land will be one of the best ways to combat it in my opinion, simply because of the self-sufficiency potential. Yeah, I'm kind of concerned though. I mean, I feel like I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but there's just things that everybody can see. It's not even like conspiracy, but definitely the government is out to get people. Like they are not on the side of the average citizen. And so I think they're aware that that's kind of a loophole, and I feel like they're making policies and moves to make it more difficult for people to be self-sufficient. And I don't know, like it's still a good strategy, but I think they're gonna try to essentially attack those people more than anyone else. Like they want everyone to be dependent on the system and, you know, all that. So I mean, all the farmers are hurting really bad right now, for example, and I think it's only going to get worse. But it doesn't mean shouldn't try. You can't give up before it starts. Do what we can. Did I forget? I don't remember if I did that. I'm going to have to redo this anyway because that's a terrible stitch. We got that tree cut in half. Right here. Oh, not cut in half, but just weird. Couple places I'll have to fix. I don't even understand like why this happens sometimes. Like the texture looks totally consistent and continuous across this area, but somehow it doesn't match up here. I mean, it matches in this, I don't know, it's amazing to me how that, it matches perfectly on these bark grains, but there's still extra material outside of that. It's very confusing. Anyway. There are tons of ways to build homes with dirt, but generally you just mix clay, sand, and water with straw. You can also use animal feces. Take out big clumps, rocks, and bugs, mix it up, and it's basically cement. You have to plaster over it, otherwise it'll fall apart. Okay, that makes sense. And I'm assuming the plaster is what would keep the creatures out of your living space too. Oh, it's another one of those songs with words in it, so it gets a skip. It was kind of loud too. Okay, I need to do more masking on this tree, see if I can get it to not do that weird stuff. Oh, I should take a look, see if there's any other problems. Almost looks like there's an issue right here, but maybe that's a stump that fell over next to this one. Let me check the originals. Yeah, that's actually how it looks, so we're good. Looks like it might just be that one big tree that I have to fix. Everything else looks... Oh, never mind. Here's another one. It's cut in half. So two large trees cut in half. Everything else pretty good. Those types of houses are insect-proof and disaster-proof if done correctly. They look beautiful. You should look some up if you like them, especially ones with the living room where they plant flowers on top of the house. Yeah, I've seen some photos of those kind of things, like hobbit houses and stuff. It could be pretty cool, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure what I'm going to choose. So how would you do like electrical stuff? Does it, you have to wire it through the clay or mud or stuff? Or is it wired like inside somehow? Okay. Government's getting insane. Did you read the story about the feds raiding an Amish farm because they didn't like how he was processing his food? Man. No, I actually purposely don't watch the news. Sometimes I see clips covered on YouTube or something, and I might get sucked into watching something like that. But it's always from a alternative source. I never watch mainstream media. But yeah, so I hear some of those stories, but I haven't heard about that one. Doesn't surprise me at all. It's very obvious they're trying to control all food sources at this point, and it obviously ties into Bill Gates. It's not even conspiracy. They're actually openly talking about it now. It used to be kind of secretive. You'd have to hunt down kind of obscure videos, but now it's like it's pretty obvious what they're up to. Just wish more people would wake up and see what's going on and like start making a difference, or just making different voting choices if nothing else. But anyway, whatever. I'm not really a politics guy. I have my opinions and all that don't differ from pretty much most people on this platform, but I just don't really talk about it much. Okay, let's see. So I need to mask out this tree. Just gotta choose one that I think looks the best. Probably that one, so I'll try to mask out this tree. You have to wire it before you fill anything in, since after that it's set. Even bulldozers have to take it apart one piece at a time. It's tank solid. Interesting. Yeah, so I guess you better hope you don't have any plumbing or electrical issues after it's all, all done. I guess that could be one slight possible downside or whatever. I've definitely done my fair share of plumbing repairs, but I've never done electrical, and it kind of doesn't necessarily freak me out, but I feel like if you don't know what you're doing, it's better to let somebody else do it, kind of a thing. It's just an area I haven't done anything with. A lot of masking. I don't know if this is going to work, but let's see. I generally set a short 30-minute time frame to keep up with goings on. I'm not even registered to vote. I don't think politics is going to solve anything, so I'm hoping to change the world in my own way just by living with the planet and helping my community. Yeah, I don't think politics will solve anything either. I think they have the whole thing rigged, both sides. Even though I might lean towards one side more than the other, I think they're both kind of seemingly working together to the same ends of, you know, the elite being in control and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't think our votes can actually change anything, but I still, you know, consider it something. It's like all of it can be done, unless you're like some kind of revolutionary that thinks the whole system needs to be thrown out, but which maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but that's not really where I take things. I'm not that kind of person. But rich people taking care of rich people, yeah, I know, it's messed up. It's just sad to me how few or how many people don't even see that. It's so obvious. One of my favorite YouTubers is Russell Crowe, the former actor, British guy. Or, did I say Russell Crowe? I meant Russell Brand. Like, I think he puts out a lot of good content, and I think it's good, especially because he considers himself a liberal, but he is against all the stuff that's going on, which is mostly the liberals destroying the world. So it's I really like it because he you know, talks about things from a perspective that I think most people on the liberal side would understand, or, you know, not just label him as a right-wing guy, but he says a lot of the same things. So good stuff. Okay. I have the feeling this is gonna maybe make it worse, but overwrite. Oh, I guess I did do that. I guess I'll delete that and do it over. I was like, I don't know Russell Crowe had a YouTube channel. I know. I've seen a bit of him. I love him on comedy panel shows, but he's actually really smart outside of that. Yeah, it's Russell Brand is like crazy intellectual. Like, just the words that he uses, even if he wasn't saying anything smart, just the words he uses is like, whoa, he's so articulate. But yeah, he seems to have a pretty good handle on things. My favorite is the Big Fat Quiz. Don't know if you've heard of it. No. Actually, I'm trying to get off of YouTube, but I spend too much time on there because I sometimes just don't know what to do or kind of depressed and don't feel like doing anything. So I just turn on my computer or my phone and just watch random videos. I would watch like more on Odyssey. There's just not much here, honestly. Like, but yeah, even in spite of that, I kind of want to more and more get away from YouTube. Even though it's kind of tuned for my interests, you know, it only shows me generally stuff that I might want to watch. It's almost worse because I don't really want to spend that much time on it. But yeah, I don't watch TV, I don't watch Netflix, I don't watch any of those streaming sites, and I don't watch the news. I'm not on social media. I'm kind of detached in most ways, but I still am on YouTube. I do it mostly for my mental health. I mean, I stay away from those things mostly for my mental health because I don't find it to be edifying in any way. Just answering another text here, so I'll be a minute. Okay. Haha, same. I used to just sit and stare at the internet for years before I deleted all my social media. Now I enjoy listening more than watching, turning on a DIY or documentary and working on chores and stuff. Yeah, I've been trying to get my account tuned more toward that kind of stuff, like stuff that if I am gonna watch random junk on YouTube or whatever, I want it to be something that I'm learning a new skill or but there's still a bunch of like, I get sucked into random, you know, clickbaity stuff here and there. And so those get into my feed and then I'm just like, get lost occasionally on stuff that's a waste of time. But yeah, if I'm going to watch it at all, I need to try to discipline myself to make it more of a fruitful or not depressing waste of time kind of thing. Yeah, I'm not super disciplined, so can't say I do the best with that at this point. It's in my consciousness, but oh weird, why did that not fix that? That doesn't seem possible. Looks like this tree maybe got fixed though, that's good. A little blob there. Everything else seems fine. So I might need to adjust the mask on this one. Hopefully that'll do it. Yeah, I love DIY stuff, but the problem is I can watch that stuff and then but if I don't have a reason to actually use it or something, then it still feels like a waste of time. So I need to focus on only watching things that are like answering a question that I have currently or whatever. Pet videos are my poison. I try to at least click on evolution related stuff since I enjoy creature design, but watching doggos be silly is impossible to ignore. Yeah, I've never got sucked into that stuff. Not really an animal enthusiast, so I don't get tempted too much by that. I don't dislike animals, but I'm not like a pet owner or anything, so find it quite easy to avoid. But I have my other guilty time wasters. I don't even know what they are. Just YouTube is that's a scary thing. That social media basically is reading your mind, because they have so much information about your browsing habits and all that stuff that they kind of essentially know what's gonna trigger you or waste your time. So it's kind of scary. I'd rather just be off of it for that reason alone. I don't really like them messing with me or wasting my time. Okay, I'm not sure why. Oh, okay, here we go. This one needs a mask. Oops, I cut out. That's weird. I didn't leave any tree with that part of the branch. Okay. That's strange. I thought I did. Oh, okay. I need to leave that part of the branch on one of these at least. Just go straight down the trunk of the tree and hopefully that'll work. That was something I thought about a while ago. This day and age is great because of how easy everything is, but privacy no longer exists. Only way would be to leave the internet or leave the planet, and even then they've got probes probably flying through space. I'm just kidding. Just kind of unfortunate. Yeah, I know. I'm not super paranoid about privacy. I mean, I do value privacy, but it's more I just don't. Actually, the reason I don't want them to have access to all of my information and my habits is just I feel like they use it to manipulate everybody, including myself, and I don't want to be prey to that manipulation. And I'm not necessarily scared they're going to come after me or anything like that. It's just more, and I don't really have a lot to hide necessarily, anything like that. It's more just, yeah, I don't like being manipulated, so. Probes, yeah. Enough that they just know. Yeah, I have a friend that was ex-military, and he's pretty, I don't think he's paranoid, he's just really cautious. Like, he's apparently guards his online existence, so he's supposedly doesn't exist in the eyes of the internet. So he doesn't have any social media, he doesn't text, he just doesn't communicate in any form that's like recordable, and he doesn't do anything crazy. Like, he's not like planning some, thing that needs to hide. It's more just he knows, like, just from his experience of being in the military and just whatever, that he values privacy and whatnot. I'm not quite that extreme or anything, but I would like to minimize my presence online. Or just for mental health. It's really mostly about mental health. I just struggle with depression and stuff, and so I know the more time I spend online, the more generally I'm affected that way. Feel the same, yeah. I'm kind of glad there's a lot of people that feel that way, that it used to be like, if you ever said anything like that, you're just a conspiracy theorist. But I think there's enough people that understand. Even like back in the 80s when people, took time away from TV, it's the same kind of thing. Like, just don't be sitting at a screen all day, all the time. Just kind of common sense. But I think, even though I think there's a lot of people that understand that, there's too many more that just, they might know that, they might believe that that's true, that you shouldn't just sit at technology all the time, but they don't do anything about it, and they're just sucked into the whole thing, and it's kind of sad. More outside time is best, yeah, for sure. Yep. And I mean, most honestly, like, you can see it, like, the time I'm spending at the computer is still related to the things that I'm doing outside. And that's kind of why eventually I would love to get a camera that I don't have to do any of this work, and I wouldn't have to sit at the computer, make, developing photos. They would just be ready. And I have a hard time turning off my perfectionist eye and just using like a smartphone camera. It's just, I see too many problems with it just because I've been doing this stuff so long. But eventually they'll come out with phone cameras that are so good you don't even need to do anything. But once again, you have to have a smartphone and be tied into all their networks and stuff, so it's yet another trap they have. Kind of hard to get away from it all. I'd love to get like a Linux phone or something, but I don't know, read things or watched videos that they're not quite there yet. Also, just remember that you asked my gender. It's fun to keep it a secret. Even real life people can't figure out my age either. Oh, that's no worries. I do that kind of too. Like, I've streamed for over 3 years and I've never told anybody how old I am. I think I'm young inside for my age. I can relate pretty well to people in their 20s, but at the same time I'm very old-fashioned, so I can also relate to 80, 90-year-olds pretty well. So, but generally my personality is pretty young, so I try to not reveal all my cards, so to speak. No particular reason. It's just I found that, like, on the streaming platforms, if people know you're old, they kind of write you off or something. It's like, that guy's old, he can't possibly understand my life predicament or my interests, whatever. Which might be true, I don't know, but whatever. I enjoy interacting with people of all ages, though. But I'm not shy about the fact that I'm old. Like, compared to most people on streaming platforms, I'm a little bit above the average, I think, so I don't mind. Okay, so that tree is finally fixed. Hopefully I didn't introduce any other errors. Oh, there's a small tree branch cut up there. Probably just fix that manually. I could probably come up with the mask that solves that, but I think that one's fixable just by some manual stuff. Oh, by the way, I used Krita in my last live stream and found out it's like way more stable than Affinity Photo, so I'm probably going to start using that for some of these edits. So yeah, I know we were talking about GIMP and Krita and stuff. It actually seems really lightning fast and stable, so I was kind of surprised. It's an interesting dilemma to post outdoor activities on the internet. On one hand, trying to get away from tech, but at the same time, it can help others get things started just from seeing you do it. Yeah, I know. I totally have that dichotomy in me, because sometimes I live stream my hikes and stuff, and I'd rather not have any tech going on when I'm hiking, but at the same time, it's like I'm a single guy and like I don't have a lot of friends, so it's kind of a way to socialize a little bit potentially, and then like you said, just share the experience with others and hopefully inspire people and whatnot. But yeah, I still wonder if I would want to post videos about my homestead and camels, or if I'll just isolate. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it feels like in the new age coming, that could be used against people, like that. If you're online doing that stuff, they'll be more aware of what you're doing and try to possibly target you or whatever. But I don't know. It depends on your paranoia level or how you value that stuff. But I've seen a lot of cool homesteading or bushcraft, kind of channels, and I tend to be drawn toward, especially the bushcraft outdoor stuff. And so I'm glad that people do it, but I would also understand if they wanted to stay off the internet. But yeah, I also have some good friends they started a homesteading YouTube channel, but they haven't been posting. I think they just came to the reality of like, it takes so much time to edit things, and they'd rather just be living their lives. Or I don't know what their story is, but they only posted a few videos, and I haven't heard from them in a while. That's cool. I guess it just makes sense that Krita would also be able to edit photography. You gotta check out the video. Yeah, I'm gonna do a quick edit right now, but I don't think it used to be that way, honestly. I think Krita used to be only kind of geared toward hand painting and animation, but they've kind of made it almost a complete replacement for Photoshop, really. You can do pretty much almost anything in Krita that you can do in Photoshop, which I find surprising, actually. Their like distortion tools are actually really pretty powerful for a program like this. I wouldn't expect it to have this kind of stuff, but I'm going to do a quick little fix here so you can see a little bit of that, but it's not quite as good. Like, they don't have things for, I mean, as far as I know, they don't have stuff for like correcting skin tones and clarifying, all that kind of stuff. And their healing and cloning tools are a little bit less powerful, but they do have them, so it's cool. Anyway, so I'm just going to do a quick fix on this branch up here. One of the things that I find lacking in a lot of programs is masking tools, sophisticated masking tools. And I don't know how powerful the masking tools are in Krita. They might be lacking a little bit. Like in this case, I kind of need to very accurately mask out this top area so that when I pull it over, it's going to cover that needly tuft up there. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I'm seeing that will be an issue. And other programs would have like a way to automatically follow this edge really accurately, and I don't know if Krita has that, so I'm just using the polygon masking tool. But as far as the like warping tools in Krita. They're actually really good. Surprised. On this side I don't have to be as careful because I'm actually want to pull in some of the sky, so it'll cover up the second copy of this branch, which will become apparent in a moment. I was just thinking about that last night. It'd be easy for feds to raid my farm if they saw my videos. It's hard to imagine, but it's happened once and can happen again. But I like to stay optimistic. Bringing attention to it would help combat it. Always important to turn a bad situation to something that helps others. Krita is so much. I watched a couple videos about it and it blew my mind. What can do? Love vector so much. Yeah, I know. Same here. I'm actually more interested, generally speaking, in vector art than raster or bitmap stuff. For that stuff I typically use Inkscape is my favorite tool. But yeah, Krita seems pretty capable. Still have trouble with masking and layers though, but I plan on learning it after I finish my other videos. Cool. Art. Oh, okay. So yeah, like now that I have this as a separate layer, I can use this transform tool, and if I right click, I get all these options. I mean, there's actually more options in here than some of the other programs. So one that seems to work pretty well is this mesh tool. So then I can just like distort the shape of this by moving these handles on the side. You can choose how many mesh coordinates there are. Kind of like mesh transform, isn't it? Fire Alpaca kind of does that too, but I haven't really tried it yet. Yeah, and there's actually quite a few options in Krita on different ways to do the same kind of thing. And I haven't really investigated all of them yet because I haven't been using it for very long. I mean, I've used it before, but I'd never really thought of it as a photo editing tool over the years, so I just didn't really even think to try this kind of stuff. But it's pretty good. But yeah, so there's several different ways to distort things. It has basically the Photoshop liquefy thing. So you can like use a brush to distort things. So like I can right click and instead of the mesh I can use liquefy, and then it'll give me like a brush tool here that you can change the size and how much it moves stuff. Oops, skip a song. So like I can pull things using this brush and stuff, which is pretty cool. I don't really need to at this point because I already kind of made it the shape that I want. But then the one I haven't, and then you can also use perspective to like, you know, distort stuff this way, which is cool. The one I haven't really played around with much yet is this cage one, which I've watched videos on cage stuff, but I don't really know how it works. But you make these kind of nodes like this. And yeah, I don't fully understand how they work. I guess that's how it works. And I could see myself using this. It's almost like a bone system in a animation software where you have rigged arms and legs and stuff, so you can move them around and distort them this way. But you have to make sure to go outside of your object, so you'd want to have a cage like out here, I guess, in the blue area, in this particular situation, so that it doesn't cut the inside of it or whatever. Anyway, just there's quite a few different ways to do things, which is cool. I like the perspective tool in Krita. I've used it to fix the angle of my art if I took the picture at a weird angle. Yeah, so like I guess you could do stuff like just grab a guy like this. Oops, I don't even know what that just happened there. That was weird. What am I doing here? What tool am I on? That's really strange. Oh, I have the shape done, not the mask. Okay. So you could get that, and then you could do the cage thing and like put a shape around like that. And then you could, I suppose, I don't know if you can select multiple nodes at the same time, hopefully. Yeah. I guess that's one downside of this tool. You can't necessarily like move multiple things at the same time. It's kind of a little bit strange, actually. Anyway, I guess that's kind of the idea, though. Of course, I didn't delete the arm that was under there, so that's going to be a problem. It's actually not quite as cool as I would expect it to be. I actually like the bone systems that some programs have, and this probably has that too, honestly. I don't know. I'm sure it does. It's kind of made for animation. Yeah, it's duplicating because I didn't... Oh, hey, Jace. Live video with Odyssey. This is dope. Is this the first time you've seen a live stream? But welcome to the stream. I'm just messing around. Yeah, it's duplicating because I didn't like delete the bottom one. Where's the erase tool? One thing that's kind of confusing about Krita is that all the brushes are under the brush tool. So even the eraser and the clone tool, they're all inside the brush tool, which I find confusing. Anyway, you get the idea. I don't know if that's kind of what the tool is intended for. Probably not. I wonder if, let me see. Krita bones. Blender has it. I don't know if Krita has it or not. Maybe it doesn't. That's the cool stuff. Like, that's the fun stuff. I haven't really played around with it, but I'm kind of aware of how it works. I have done a little bit of stuff in Blender, but not a lot. Anyway. Yeah, whatever. Let's get back to my photo. Blender is amazing for that. You can create your own brush presets. Yeah, so if you've done like 3D animation stuff, mine is only the pen tool and eraser tool. Nice. I mean, that's probably all you need for what you're doing, so. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm very slow in Krita because it's just not something I've spent a lot of time with yet, so. But yeah, like normally there's like a dedicated clone tool in most programs, but in Krita, like it's down here as one of these stylized thumbnails. So it took me quite a while to figure that out. It's this one here, which to me doesn't even look like a clone tool. I would never find that if I didn't look it up on Google, basically. But yeah, it's basically, it works the same way as a standard clone tool. You just pick a source and cover stuff up. Has this healing thing, and it took me forever to find it, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to find it again because it's so in a stupid place. I don't know. I don't remember where it was. I think it might have been in here. Oh, there we go. It's really stupid. When I used to play VR chat, I played around with 3D models, but never actually finished making my own models, usually downloaded from Sketchfab and the Unity store. That's cool. Yeah, I've messed around with 3D stuff for years, but I haven't really taken it to the next level. I found Blender very intimidating to learn, and so I played around with it, but I kind of gave up. Wow, that healing is ugly. It's making a cyan-colored border on there, which is strange. So yeah, I feel like Krita is lacking a little bit in this area. It's not looking good at all. Let me turn off that healing thing and see if that's what's causing the issue. I might actually do this little bit in another program because it's kind of not. I feel like this is one area they haven't really done a great job in yet. But it does have it. It's just not. It's not up to my satisfaction. So I'm gonna actually export this and finish that in another program. I don't know if you can see this on the stream, but like right here is like a more saturated blue looking area, so I'm not sure why it did that. That's kind of strange. Oh goodness, my internet is lagging so much. BRB, no worries. Okay, let's save this. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's save it as a TIFF so I can get it in another program. the weird kind of, I don't know what adjective to use, but this song is weird. It's like a drunk version or something. Alright, here I get to demonstrate how unstable Affinity Photo is, and it's probably going to crash at some point while I'm using it. It's super unstable, unbelievably bad. But I will use it to fix this area if it doesn't crash a million times. So I can use either the healing brush or the in-painting brush. They kind of work more or less the same, but I'll be able to get rid of this brighter, more saturated blue area just by painting over it, and it'll magically disappear in theory. See if it works. Yep, it's gone. Can't even tell it was there. And then, but it's almost certain to crash. It's like every 4 or 5 operations that I do in this program, after that it crashes really bad. Don't know why. And then for this, I'm going to use the healing brush. Should work pretty well. Already felt like I was already about to crash. I should save this real quick. Crazy how unstable it is. It's unbelievable. If I don't save it every few minutes, it's almost guaranteed to crash. Okay, I don't need to spend that much time on it, just kind of playing around. That's good enough. I think that was the only area that was broken, but I'll take a quick look around, make sure there's not any other messed up trees. Not sure what that is up there. Oh, random black line. May as well get rid of that. Actually, I will use the clone tool for that instead of the healing brush. Okay. Crust looks pretty good so far. There's a weird little spot here. Not too worried about it. I don't think most people would see that, but may as well sort of try to clear it up a little bit. I think rather than trying to reconstruct that, I'm gonna just pull it from one of these other things. Probably this one. This is probably about where it's gonna crash. Speaking of that, I should close Hugin. Probably switch back to Krita for this part. Get it a little bit more stable, but hopefully I can make it through this little bit without it crashing. Getting pretty choppy already, it might be. Yep, I think it's on the verge of a crash. Yay! So bad. Unusable program, almost. Crazy bad. Super annoying, so... yeah, I have to start over with this bit. It's crazy. It's terrible. Okay, I think I will go back to Krita on this little bit here. So far, I haven't had Krita crash even once. It doesn't even slow down or bog down at all, really. Probably can't stream too much longer because I need to go eat something for dinner and whatnot. But I'll try to finish at least this image, maybe a few more, I don't know. Keystrokes and stuff are different in Krita, so I'm not at all familiar with that, so I feel like I'm going really slow whenever I'm using it. Coloring on these two is going to be different, so I'm going to have to do some adjustments on that, unfortunately. Okay, back. Okie dokie. Welcome back. Oops. Ah, that sucked. That was a stupid place for that to be. Okay, that's one problem with Krita. You can't like click outside of the canvas area to make a point for your mask. That's really dumb. Unless you have it like zoomed out far enough. That's a little bit of an oversight on their part. I accidentally closed that other document. Actually, let me see. I want to do these two separately, not both at the same time. Sorry I didn't catch any of your previous responses. No worries. If you asked something that I didn't answer or whatever, feel free to ask again. I have a hard time remembering like conversations from several minutes ago. My brain can't do it. Not a pro streamer in that sense. Or in any sense, really. Don't really understand that question. Honestly, that's weird. Doesn't make sense. Why is it pasting that? That's not even what I had on the clipboard. Cut this. Oh, paint layer. Okay. Interesting. Not sure why that was created. Get rid of all these. I don't know what's going on there. Copy selection. This is doing weird stuff. Copy selection to new layer. I don't know why it's calling it a paint layer. That seems weird to me. It's not really a paint layer, but whatever. Okay, so maybe this is the first time I've used layers in Krita. It's doing really dumb stuff, in my opinion. It's not normal. I have an area selected in a layer, and I should be able to just Control-C that and Control-V it somewhere else. Copy, maybe try copy merged instead. Don't know why it's lagging. No, no worries. I always encourage people that if that's what they're experiencing, to don't worry about trying to watch, because it's like can be super frustrating for someone to try to keep having a conversation like that. It's pasting it, but it's not pasting it anywhere that I can see it. That's stupid. It's just dumb. Where is it? It's supposedly there, but I don't see it anywhere. Oh, it's way over here. Okay. There we go. Alright, so the coloring is very different. Oh, and it's also like massively low resolution. Yeah, okay, so Krita has some issues. Major issues. Doesn't make any sense at all. Copy. I don't know what sharp means. Let's paste. Okay, so Krita's layering has much to be desired. Doesn't really make sense. Or at least it's not anything similar to how any other photo editing program works. So it's probably geared more towards animation or something. And it absolutely does not jive with this kind of use. It's very irritating. There seems to be no way to just copy a selected area, which is insane. That's so common a thing you'd want to do. Like, I have a selection here, or a mask. It's on this background. You should just be able to Control-C it, and it copies what is inside that mask. That's how every other program works. Just copy, and then paste. Okay, that time it worked. It worked on the menu, but when I used Control-C and Control-V, it did something entirely different. Okay, finally we're in business. Okay, so... the same thing, is it? It's not even the same shape. That's odd. Oh, okay. It's back there. All right. Yeah, it'll take me a while to where I can actually feel like I'm going at a reasonable pace in Krita. It just does some things a little bit strange that I'm not used to. And I don't know how to do like an adjustment mask or adjustment layer on just this thing. So let me just see what happens. Say like curves, for example. How would I do that? Surely it has. Okay, color adjustment curves, I guess. Why do they have that many words? No one else calls it that. Like curves. Let's call it color adjustment curves. Wow, that's like adding or taking away. There's less saturations. I'm going to bump the saturation up. HSV, that should work. The hue's also a little bit off, slightly. Another situation where I'd probably normally go back into Affinity Photo because it has way better tools for this situation where I need to kind of heal the coloring on this overlapping blue area. It's not matching. I could erase it, you know, pixel perfect like this, but it's kind of time consuming and unnecessary. But I guess it's the way to do it at this point, since I don't know how any other better way in Krita to do it. This would actually be easier if I had a graphics tablet as well. Good enough. This one also looks a little bit strange and cut off, so I think to fix this one, I'm just gonna go the slightly faster route instead of copying it. I'll just try to clone some little bits in there. I wonder what this is. Colorize mask editing tool. I have no idea what that means. But smart patch. I tried that before, the smart patch, and it was absolutely worthless. I don't think I can use that. It seems to be similar. It's supposed to be similar to the in painting, but it just doesn't work. It's bad. Oops. Sorry, I guess it's one of those nights where my internet decides it doesn't want to work anymore. The stream is impossibly choppy. Oh, sorry about that. As far as I know, I mean, I could check my own stream. See if it's looking good. Looks good on my end. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to tell if it's like my end, the platform, or the viewer. It appears at this moment, my theory is that it's probably your internet connection, because I can see my own stream. It looks to be going pretty smooth. At the moment. Experience with this healing brush thing has not been great so far, but I'll try it, give it another chance here. Doing that weird thing where it's adding saturation for some reason. Be doing a better job at the moment. Probably good enough. Doesn't need to be perfect. Alright, I think that's... Oh, what? Oh, no. Apparently I opened... Great. That's fantastic. Sometimes I found that Krita does not save the changes you do. So I'm going to have to do this again, or pull this from one of my other copies of the file that has it saved. I don't know. It's weird. I save it, and then it like doesn't save some of the changes. That seems to be the case, but let me... if I have another copy of the file that has that work done, so I can just copy and paste that bit. Great talking to you. I hope you have a great night. Hopefully I can watch your next stream. Oh, sorry, I missed that. I had my chat scrolled up for a minute. Alright, I'll see you around. Thanks for hanging out for a while. Always good to have someone to chat to. Alright, let's see if I can get a working copy of this. I wish I had timestamps. I wonder if it does. Maybe there's an option to turn that on. Toggle timestamps. Yeah, oh cool. Alright. This might crash it, trying to open two of these gigantic files at the same time. Let's see what happens. Okay. Oh shoot, so I have a version saved that's not quite how I want it. Let me see what other things I have here. Not that one. How about this one? Oh, I think it's because it crashed in Affinity Photo, so maybe I never was able to save that. However, might be lucky and have this version with the stuff saved. We'll see. The less I have to redo, the better. Probably end the stream when I finish this photo because it's taking too long. Okay, it looks like this one has the stuff I need. So I wonder if I actually what I could do to task my processor a little less. I could crop this down to just that area so that when I open it in Krita, it doesn't have to kill itself to get that in there. Save that. Oh, I didn't notice there's like some weird little twigs and branches cut off on this part too, but almost my rule is almost like if I don't really notice it, then I just leave it. I mean, I do notice it, but it's like I feel like if it's not that big of a deal, then I might leave it. Let's see. In theory, I should be able to just copy this part, cover that up. Placement of stuff is really odd. It's not very intelligent anyway. Just puts it, probably puts it in the same position on the new image pixel wise X and Y as it. Oh wow, that's like really low res. It's really weird when it does that. I don't understand it. That seems to be what happens when you do Control V or Control C and Control V. So if I use the menu, maybe it doesn't do that. Oh, it's yeah, it's like pasting it at a lower resolution. It's useless. It's terrible. I don't know why it would do that. Probably just a glitch. I mean, it's something that they missed when they were editing or testing the program. Maybe they don't usually have people with such high resolution images. Yeah, it's nasty looking. Weird. Don't know why it does that. I'm gonna have to fix that in another program because Krita seemingly can't cut and paste. So if you're wondering, you know, anything good or bad about Krita, one of the really huge things that makes it so you can't even use it for any kind of use, doesn't matter what kind of editing you're doing or animation or drawing, painting, you can't cut and paste. It's a really big deal. Really big deal. So it forces me to go like back and forth between Krita and another program. It also has really crappy cloning and healing tool. It's passable, but for me, it's unusable almost in most cases. Ah, that's so annoying. Okay. I'm gonna save this as another file so I don't accidentally overwrite the one that I want to copy from. Let's just call it C. So many files at this point, it's getting confusing. Okay. So, this one. Control C, Control V, and it goes exactly in the same place. That's how it should work. Take note, Krita. Affinity Photo has that right, and you don't. Just pasted it as a new layer right over the top of where it should be. Perfect. And it didn't lower the resolution, didn't do anything buggy, it just worked. So that's one area that Affinity Photo is light years ahead of Krita. But Krita is more stable and Affinity Photo is very crashy, so it's kind of a tie. I could try to fix this by copying stuff, but I think I'm going to go the little bit lazier route in this situation and just try to more or less clone it out of existence. Ooh, it's crashing. Close it. Man, these programs. Ugh. Things that should take like less than 5 minutes because they're very simple tasks take forever because of these stupid little issues. Of course, if I had Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop, I don't think any of these things would be issues. As far as my experience has been, it's super stable, but I just can't afford to buy it and not really big on supporting Adobe, but they do have good software. I don't think I'd be having these issues with it. Flatten. And let's just try to clone those little weird fuzzy areas. To heal him. Yeah, nope. Healing sucks. Okay. What other options do I have? Let's try the patch tool. I've not particularly used this before. Let's see how it works. Yeah, the patch and heal tend to like blend in pixels from the edge of darker things, which is stupid. So it's not going to get rid of that dark fuzzy stuff, unfortunately. That's not going to solve it. So, probably a clone brush with a very soft edge might do it. Sure. The other thing I could do is do this in the best healing and cloning stuff, at least that I have in my software titles, is CaptureOne, but it's just kind of a different way of going about doing it. So I don't like to try to get things back into CaptureOne once I've developed them from RAW to JPEG or TIFF or whatever, because going that reverse direction tends to be strange. This has a little halo around it that I could try to put on the other sides. I don't know if that'll be... I think it's crashing now. Yep, it's crashing. Worthless program. Oh my goodness. Unbelievably unstable. Ugh. Okay, it pulled out of it, thankfully. Gotta save it before it crashes for real. But I guess I'll try to replicate that white halo, which is probably the result of just, you know, normal camera stuff, but also I did sharpen it, so that's probably sharpening that we're seeing there. Might have to do it kind of one pixel at a time. Hurry up and save it. Come on. Oh, waste of time. It's crazy. Just do like a 1 or 2 pixel heal. Nope, that's not gonna do it. Gotta do clone. Okay, that's good enough. Of course I have to do the same thing to this. Ugh. In the butt. Maybe I can just copy and paste that area down here, save time. Probably would work. Except that this will probably crash it, and then do it all over. Except that I did save it. Crashing. Oh, phew. Pulled out of it barely. Probably shouldn't care about these small details. I need to close the program after this because it's lagging massively. Memory leak supreme. I can safely get rid of all the other ones, so. Yeah. From so many copies. Seeing any other problems, at least on that tree. Just stop looking around because I'll probably find something. There's a little weird spot there. I guess I'll try to fix that. Actually, there's a bunch of little weird spots in here. I'll try to ignore most of them, but I might fix a few of them. probably good enough. Sure, there's other issues, but nothing that's... I mean, this is weird right here. Obviously, it gets thicker right here and shifts over to the left. I think I'm gonna just let that go. Not really that noticeable. But generally it looks good. So let's see if I can export before it crashes. I think all the issues that it has you would never notice unless you were really pixel peeping and knew what to look for, so it should be fine. Looks good. Not too many more images left, like 20. I don't know, it's quite a few. But it's like this panorama, and then it looks like mostly other single non-panorama shots, so maybe this 2 more panoramas and a bunch of singles. So I could probably get those done next stream, perhaps. I might stream later tonight again if I can't sleep, we'll see. But anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for joining me. I will catch you next time.